Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Good
sir. Good afternoon,
Sorry,
sir.
actually, I was under impression the lecture is at 1:30 and I was in the meeting. So, sorry, you have to wait for me.
It's
Well,
okay.
yesterday we discussed about the testing of hypothesis, especially parametric test. So, while performing the testing of hypothesis, we have to have an objective in our hand, and according to the objective, you have to decide or you have to frame the statistical hypothesis. So, in hypothesis, you have two types of hypothesis. One is a null hypothesis, and another is a alternative hypothesis. A null hypothesis is nothing but it is simply a guess or assertion about any statement, and that statement you wish to assess based on the data collected from a population. If the data is collected from a population is based on the probability sampling scheme, then you can refer to or you can go for the parametric test, because parametric test is a test where you require the distribution of a test statistics. Another kind of a test we have that is called the non-parametric test, which is considered to be a distribution free test. So in a parameter, in the testing of hypothesis, as I say that we have a null hypothesis, then opposite to the null is called the alternative hypothesis. We denote them as a H1. Now, when you take any kind of a decision based on the testing of hypothesis, there are two types of the errors are there. One is a type 1 error and another is a type 2 error. So yesterday we discussed about the type 1 error. It is nothing but the reject the null hypothesis when the null hypothesis is true. And the probability of the type 1 error is known as a level of significance. And we usually fix them. We call them as alpha. And we usually keep alpha equal to 0.05 while taking the decision. Another kind of the errors is known as a type 2 error. It is nothing but the accept the false null hypothesis. Or you can say that they accept the hypothesis when the hypothesis is false. And the probability of the type 2 error is known as the beta. It is also known as a consumer risk. If you talk in terms of a industry aspect, then alpha is said to be a producer risk and beta is said to be a consumer risk. And we discussed that in the last lecture, both the errors cannot be minimized simultaneously, and hence we try to fix one error and minimize the another error. So by yesterday, based on that example of a merit system, I have tried to convince you that the probability of type 1 error is more severe. And as per the industry point of view also, the probability of type 1 error is more severe. So we fix the probability of type 1 error as the alpha and try to minimize the probability of type 2 errors. And that is how, while taking any decision in a testing of hypothesis, we have the test statistics, and you can compare the test statistics with the table value, and then you take the decision. But nowadays, because of the softwares, we never look for the table value. We always take the decision based on the significant value or the p value. And the usual decision yesterday we discussed, if the p value is less than or equal to 0.05, then we reject the null hypothesis. Otherwise, we will accept the null hypothesis. Sometimes you wish to increase your confidence. If you take alpha equal to 0.05 and whatever the decision you are making, it is said to be a 1 minus alpha into 100. That is the 1 minus 0.05 into 100 is a 95%. So we say that we have a confidence of a 95% when you take alpha equal to 0.05. But if you wish to increase your confidence for taking the decision, then you can improve the alpha. Let us say somebody is interested to take the decision with the 99% confidence. So in that way, you have to allow the 1% error in your decision, and that is how we are fixing alpha equal to 0.01. But this all the alpha equal to 0.05 and alpha equal to 0.01, we usually discuss the conventional test of hypothesis we will use as a cutoff point or the critical value. But sometimes if it is of a medical experiment, so you cannot have the 5% error in your decision. If you give the vaccination to the 100% people and the 5% is still suffering from the disease, so it is the issue. So you always like, whenever you come out with in the medical sciences, you always look for the high accuracy rate. Let us say 1,000 people should be given the dose, and if one has the problem, perhaps it is permissible. So in that case, the alpha value is 0.001. Okay, so we should take the decision based on the significant value. Sometimes in a certain cases, your hypothesis is accepted at the 5%, but it is rejected at the 10%. And still 90% confidence will also help you to take the decision. Then we can move ahead with the 90%. Okay, so it is up to the user what percentage of the errors they are trying to allow in that decision. Okay, then I told you that when you talk about the parametric test, you require the distribution of a test statistics, or you talk about any testing of hypothesis, you require a distribution of a test statistics. Second one is a test statistics. Third one is the level of significance, and fourth is a decision rule. That means if the p-value less than 0.05, reject it not, otherwise accept, or absolute value of the calculated value exceed the tabulated value in terms of a symmetric test of the distribution, or the test having the symmetric distribution. Or in the setup of the chi-square test, you can compare chi-square calculated with the chi-square tabulated. Okay, so tabulated is based on the certain degree of freedom is given, and the level of significance you are fixing at the 0.05. The statistic tables are there. Based on that, you can take the decision. But again, to look at the tables, it is sometimes difficult. So if we are using the softwares, we always try to take the decision based on the p-value. So in parametric test, we will see the three different types of the test. One is a one sample t test, another is the independent two sample t test, and third one is a pair t test. And in non-parametric, we will see the alternative of the parametric test, like sign test, Wilcoxon sign rank test, or the Mann-Whitney test, and Wilcoxon pair sample test. And alternative to the ANOVA, we have a Kruskal-Wallis test. So that we will see one by one, and we'll discuss with the R. So yesterday, when I have taken the lecture, then I told you that when you apply the parametric test, there are two important assumptions they have to verify. One is the data is independent of order or not. That means data is random or not. When I am saying random means each and every individual have an equal chance to receive the treatment. If you do the experiment, then each and every individual have an equal chance to receive the treatment. But if you purposely give the treatment to some individual, then you have lost the randomization. For example, in the clinical domain, you people are applying the blind trials. That means the patients has no information which drug the patient is getting, and doctor has no information that which patient is getting which drug. So this is called the double blind trial. So when you have a double blind, it means that you are allowing the concept of a randomization. Similarly, in the agriculture experiment, it is the concept of a randomization. Randomization is very important to avoid the human bias. Purposely, you are not selecting the individual and give the treatment. For example, like you are looking this all nutrition food advertisement. They are saying that after the 11th month, when we have studied the height of the student, it is observed that if the individual taking the brand A compared to brand B, the height is increasing dugna. Height is increasing double. So if you look at the students or the kids they have shown in advertisement, the category or the nutrition food A is given to that student, they are already having a good nutrition compared to the second group. So that is somehow it is not the advisable. It is the purposely you have given the person a nutrition food who has already having a nutrition food in their body or nutrition level at the body. So there is a more chance into the growth compared to the group who have given the treatment B. So to avoid this kind of the things, we give the randomization. The some of the people from the group B are also receiving the brand A. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
sir.
I say that my voice is not clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Rinabel. Okay. So I was talking about the brand and brand B, and that is how the randomization will take place. That the brand A should be applied to the group two, and brand B is also applied to the group two. Brand A and B both are also given to the group one. So it is how the randomization and the crossover trials are they are conducting in the design of experiment. So randomization is very important. To avoid the human bias, we will go for the randomization. So therefore, whenever we are applying the parametric test, we always prefer that whatever the samples we have taken from the population, it should be a random. And that is how to assess whether it is a random or not. We will apply the concept of the theory of runs test. Okay. Again, once the data is a random, then we can proceed for the parametric test. Suppose data is a non data is not random, then we cannot use the parametric test. One has to go for the non-parametric, or perhaps your data may be generated in order of time. So time series data are a data which is the time dependent. Time dependent means that current temperature may be a function of the previous day temperature. So that means they are not independent. So they are all the data which is generated in order of time. So you cannot apply the parametric test when such kind of the data is with you. So that you have to verify based on the nature of the data, and the simultaneously, if you are not able to convince from the nature of the data, you go for the testing of hypothesis like the run test, which will suggest you or allow you to take the decision whether the data is random or not. Second test, yesterday we discussed about the test of normality. In the R language, we had a two option. One can refer the Kolmogorov-Minro test, that is the test for the normality. Here the null hypothesis is the data comes from a normal distribution. In which test? Kolmogorov-Minro test. In short, we call them as a KS test. And in R, the command name is a KS.test. Okay. Another test is that the Shapiro-Wilks normality test. So this both test will help you to take the decision whether the data is coming from a normal distribution or not. If your hypothesis is accepted, then we say that the data comes from a normal distribution. If it is rejected, then we say that data does not follow the normal distribution. Either you have to go for the non-parametric test, or you may take the transformation, and if the transformed data follow normal distribution, then you can prefer the parametric test. These are all the basic foundation when we apply the testing of hypothesis, especially parametric test. And then if we have a single population, then we of course talk about the one sample t test. If we have a two population and they are independent, we'll talk about the independent sample t test. And if we have a population, that means a pair of observation is taken from the same respondent. For example, before giving the paracetamol, you measure the temperature level of the patient, and after giving the paracetamol, you measure the temperature of the patient. So this is the same. The pair of observation is collected from the same individual. So it is a kind of a pre-post experiment. And whenever there is a pre-post experiments are there, you can always perform the paired t-test. Okay, and if any of the assumption of the one sample t-test, independent sample paired t-test is violated, we will go for the alternative test, and which is called the non-parametric test, where we do not require any assumption of independentness or any assumption of normality or a distributional assumption. Okay, I think up to this we have discussed, and then now we will jump into the R language. So yesterday I was showing you So yesterday I told you about this null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis. Okay, and we were talking about the we have taken the data of a manufacturing process where we were measuring about the average potency of the drug, and average potency of the drug from the literature it is found it is a 5.01 mg, and then we have taken the data from the modification process at 20 tablets were assayed from the modification of the process, and then we have measured that potency level and we find out the average potency. Okay, and then the results were in this way. We have that we have obtained the summary, and then we take the decision whether the p-value corresponding to the run test is a 0.818, which is greater than 0.05. Then we say that data is independently distributed, and then we apply the Shapiro-Wilks normality test and the Kolmogorov. Here it is also a p-value is 0.88, which is greater than 0.05, and in Shapiro-Wilks normality it is a 0.08, which is greater than 0.05. So we suggest that we can proceed with the one sample t-test. And what was our null hypothesis? It is a null hypothesis, average potency level mu equal to 5.01 mg. And I told you that yesterday the p-value corresponding to one sample t-test is a 0.006, which is less than 0.05. We should reject the null hypothesis, otherwise accept the null. So in our case, we should reject the null hypothesis. That means average potency is not 5.01 mg. Now, whether it is a more or less, so look at the t value. If the t statistics value is greater than 0, then we say that the average potency of the new modification process is more than the assumed mean. These are said to be assumed mean. Okay, so here it is a positive, so it is a more than, and how much it is more? So it is, you can say that it is a 5.06. So almost it is a 0.05 greater than greater than the target value. Okay, so this is what the decision is taken. So here you can see the code which I had applied. I have here written the .sav file. So that means my data file is available in the SPSS format, and therefore I am using the command read.spss. Okay, up to any questions yesterday? Talk? Anyone?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No,
Okay.
No, sir.
So what I do, I will open a file which I have already written their code, or we can run it. Okay, we will run it because you can have more idea. Yes. So let us say we have to first read data where the file is available in SPSS. So when the file is available in SPSS, SPSS is a, just to remember, it is a foreign language. So you have to load the library foreign. Okay. When data is equal to, it is available in the read.spss. So the command name is a read.spss. And I told you that to browse the file, which command we have to use? File dot choose. And here in SPSS file, there are two different views, variable views and the data views. So here we will not give the header equal to true. If it is only a data views is available, and if you are importing the data, then we require to give the header is equal to true, because the header is, or the variable name is written in the first column. The file name was of a potency, let us go to the parametric and non-parametric folder. And average potency. See, this is the SPSS file. Okay. See, you can see that the type is a SAV file. Can you see? Okay.
Yes,
Just
sir.
open. Then, because if you just give the output of this data, you can see that it is not like a row and column structure. It is like a, it has the data like the serial number, then it is the average potency, and then it is giving the many other things. Okay, it is talking about variable properties of the variable, because SPSS has the two views, variable views and data view. But I told you that when you do the analysis in the R language, R always understand the data frame structure. So we have to just write this data in the data frame structure. I will write data dot frame. इसको डेटा में कन्वर्ट करना है डेटा फ्रेम स्ट्रक्चर में, तो ऑलरेडी द डेटा स्टोर इनटू द वेरिएबल नेम डेटा. See, you can rewrite it. It is that once you assign the something new into the variable data, it is always taking the new value. So now I can just show you how it is in the data frame structure. It has the two variable, one is the serial number and second was the average potency. So these are the 20 tablets we have randomly taken from the manufacturing process, and the potency level is measured. This is the potency of the first drug, potency of the second, and likewise the potency of the 20th tablet. Okay, I'm interested in the second variable, so let me store them as a potency. Potency is equal to where the variable is. So I told you that to extract the variable from the data frame structure, you have to use the dollar sign. So it is the data dollar average potency. And when you again write the potency variable, it will help you to display the output. So now you can see that the potency is a variable having this element. Now what I wish to study, I wish to first find out the summary. See, in statistics, I'm not telling that you should become the expert on a one day. But if you understand that what should be the path of calculating the or the performing this particular test statistics, and so that is very important. So whenever you first your target is that you should first extract the data. With data, I am interested in the potency data. So I have just extracted the potency data. Now what is my target? Let me first find out the summary value. So summary of potency, it is giving me that every minimum value of the potency of the drug is a 4.96 and maximum is a 5.24. Median is a 5.05 and mean is 5.06. So you can see that the mean and medians are near to each other. So it is the indication that there are no outlier present in the data. If there is a far difference between the mean and median, then there are some outlier present in your data. And when the outlier is present, outlier means something the different value, unusual value among the other values. Suppose rest of the observations are nearby 10 and some of the observation is, let us say, 20, 25, then it is a something unusual observation you have observed in the data. So that is said to be an outlier. And whenever there is an outlier is present, and if you find out the average, the suitable measure of central tendency is a median rather than the mean. So this should you remember. There are in central tendency, there are three measures of center value: mean, median, and mode. Mode is nothing but it is simply a number which occurs more often time. Mean is nothing but the sum of the observation divided by the total number of observation, and median is nothing but you just arrange the data into the ascending order and find out the central observation value. That is called the median. For example, if you have a 99 observation is with you or 9 observation is with you, then what is the median? You just arrange this 9 observation and whatever the fifth value you can get or the fifth observation value is your median. So after obtaining the summary, I wish to draw the histogram. So I told you that how to draw the histogram. Command name is a hist. What is the variable? It is the potency. And I wish to make the color equal to, let us say, red. So you can see that the histogram. So by looking at the histogram, it is showing that it is not symmetric, it is a positive skew. Okay, so here we say that no, data does not follow normal distribution. So let us try another. Somebody said that obtain the box plot. Box plot of potency. Some say that I wish color of blue. Okay, you can take blue. Okay, so here you can see that the median is almost near to the center line, but still there is a difference between this maximum value and the third quartile. So there is no outlier, but still some observations are unusual. Then third plot, you can obtain the QQ plot or normal probability plot. Here you can give the color equal to purple. Oh, purple color. And then you can have the QQ line. That means you will apply the normal line on that. Okay, so if all the point is covered by the line, then we say that data is normal. But here you can say that some of the points is above here to the line and some of the here. So graph does not tell you to take the decision whether the data is normal or not. Somebody say that I wish all the graphs together. So there is a command PR for the partition of the window. MF row. If I wish to divide this window into 2 by 2, then I have to give C22. That means the entire window is divided into the 4 graphs. And then again you have to rerun the graph. Okay, so sometimes if you wish to display your output into the same graph, several graph in the same graph paper or the chart window or in a paper, then you can. If I will give the 1, 2, that means the 1 row and 2 column. That means the entire window is divided into the 2 part. Only 2 graphs can be allowed. If I will give the 2 cross 1, that means 2 row and 1 column. Likewise, here I have given 2 cross 2, so this is the 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1 and 2, 2 still is pending. I can add here one more graph. Okay, so the graph does not help you to take the decision whether the data is normally distributed or not. And therefore, we will apply the test known as Shapiro test. And Shapiro test I will apply for the normality. So it is a variable name is a potency, and just I will give you, it is giving me the output. What is the output? The p value is a 0.807, and this should be compared with the किसके साथ कंपेयर करेंगे?
0.05.
0.05. तो आपको मेरी आवाज इसलिए क्लियर नहीं आ रही कि मैंने इसमें से निकाल दिया था. Okay, 0.05. So you can see that the 0.087 is greater than 0.05. Hence the null hypothesis accepted. That means data is coming from a normal distribution. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear.
Now it is
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
okay. सभी जाग रहे हैं. अच्छा. Thank you. Okay. So I told you that let us test for the normality. So normality can be assessed through the graphically. I told you that even you can compare the mean, median, mode. So in a normal distribution, mean equal to median equal to mode. So this is one method to identify whether data is coming from a symmetric distribution or not, because normal is a symmetric distribution. Second one is either you can make the histogram, box plot, or QQNOM is the command for a normal probability plot. If all the point is covered by the normal line, then we can say that the data comes from a normal distribution. And one more, statistically we try to see whether it is a normal or not. The command name is a Shapiro.test, and Shapiro.test is nothing but the full name of Shapiro test is Shapiro-Wilks normality test. It is purely designed for a normal distribution. Okay. If somebody is interested to perform the Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, the command name is ks test, ks.test. Variable name is potency. And and then variable name you have to give. So I will give you the probability of a normal distribution. So p norm. If I wish to compare test the data distribution is exponential, then I have to write p exp. If I wish to compare the Weibull distribution, then p Weibull. So there are inbuilt the various distributions are there, whether your data follows the specific distribution or not. So that you can verify from the KS test, Kolmogorov-Smirnov test. And here you can see that the what happened. The Kolmogorov-Smirnov said that it does not follow the normal distribution. But if you give the, because this case test is specifically for designed for a specific mean, and it is for a standard normal. The case test work for a standard normal. If I wish to test the specific the mean and variance, then I have to assess, or I have to find out. So let me give the x bar equal to mean of potency. So what is the x bar? X bar is 5.06, and standard deviation. So SDX is SD is a command, and standard deviation of potency. And I will give the SDX. Okay, so this is the standard deviation. So now I will test the, because it has the normal distribution, which mean this, and variance will be this. So here I am giving the parameters x bar and SDX. Now we will see what happened. So now it is saying that it has the normal distribution. So I think you have seen this output in the Word file. Is that okay? Because by default, when you give the p norm, it is always comparing with the standard normal distribution, whether your data follows standard normal distribution or not. What do you mean by the standard normal? A variable which has the distribution whose mean is 0 and variance is 1. But here in our case, the mean is 5.06 and variance is the square of this. So I have to supply the mean and standard deviation value. So that means it now verifying that the my potency follows the normal distribution with mean this and variance this or not. So the p value is 0.88, which is greater than 0.05. So it is suggesting the data comes from a normal distribution. I told you one test more, that whether data is random or not. So for the assessment of randomness, with test runs dot test, and variable name is a potency. Oh, it has given the error. What is the error? Could not find function. Is that okay? Could not find the function. Why this error? So there are two possibilities. Either I have written the wrong command name, function name. It may possible I may get the error, but here I have given the correct name. That means it is not the spelling mistake of the command. So when you get this kind of error, it suggests that the corresponding library is not available. So now we have to install the library, and corresponding library is with this is a low state. I will tell you how to install the low state library. See, to install any packages, if it is not inbuilt available, let me check whether it is inbuilt available or not. So I will write library low state. It is there. Okay, so no issue. And then I will run this command. Now it has given the output. What is the output? The p-value corresponding to C. Runs test is 0.06, which is greater than 0.05 or less than? Greater than. So it means that our null hypothesis is rejected.
True. Then
Rejected. बराबर ना? मैं सही बता रहा हूँ ना?
नहीं सर,
No,
true होगा
sir, it's accepted.
सर, ट्रू होगा,
ओके, तो मतलब
एक्सेप्टेड होगा.
जाग रहा है इसका मतलब अच्छी बात है. तो दैट मीन्स कि व्हेन द पी वैल्यू is greater than 0.05, so here it is a greater than 0.05, so our decision is that null hypothesis is accepted. And what was the null hypothesis in our case? Data is a random, so data is a independent of order, so that is accepted. So it means that both the hypothesis or both the criteria of the one sample t-test are satisfied. One is data is random, and second one is data is normally distributed. When I am saying that data means I am interested in the potency. The potency is my interest of variable, and it has the independence assumption as well as it has the normality assumption. So now I can perform the one sample t-test. अब आप में से ये क्वेश्चन तो होना चाहिए ना सर, इतना सारा क्यों चेक करते हैं? हम तो आज तक जो भी करते थे वो क्या है, कोई सॉफ्टवेयर आया, टी टेस्ट में क्लिक किया, आउटपुट मिल गया, लिख दिया और पेपर भी छप गए. ऐसा होता है ना, एमएससी में किया होगा या कहीं मास्टर्स के डिसर्टेशन किए होंगे, तो इतना सारा क्यों पढ़ने का? क्वेश्चन नहीं होता है आपको? ये मैं आपको पूछ रहा हूँ, मुझे नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ.
सर नॉर्मली ये सब डिटेल वो रिसर्च पेपर्स वगैरह में नहीं होती.
नॉर्मली
सर ये सब डिटेल्स तो रिसर्च पेपर जो हम रेफर करते हैं उसमें नहीं होती.
हाँ, रिसर्च पेपर में नहीं होती है. आपकी बात बिल्कुल सही है कि मोस्ट ऑफ द रिसर्च पेपर्स आर नॉट रिपोर्टिंग दिस थिंग्स, दे आर जस्ट गिविंग द p value of a test statistics, either t test or f test, and then we always look कि भाई फिशर का f test करना है या स्टूडेंट t test करना है, we will do that. But actually why I am telling this, कि suppose if you are making a building, आप कोई एक बिल्डिंग बना रहे हैं, बिल्डिंग कंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हैं, आपका घर बना रहा है, तो उसमें फाउंडेशन कैसा रखेंगे आप? स्ट्रॉन्ग. फाउंडेशन के पीछे ध्यान नहीं दिया तो नहीं चलेगा. बाकी का कलर अच्छा लगाएंगे, दीवारों को सजाएंगे, नेरोलेक लगाएंगे, चलेगा नहीं वो सब. फाउंडेशन कैसा भी है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? गिर जाएगा. वेरी गुड. तो उसका रीजन ये है कि जब भी आप कोई टेस्ट स्टैटिस्टिक्स में भी यूज करते हैं तो उसका फाउंडेशन आपको मजबूत होना चाहिए. और फाउंडेशन मीन्स कि जो टेस्ट स्टैटिस्टिक्स डिराइव हुआ है सर्टेन एजम्पशन के ऊपर, वो एजम्पशन को आपको वेरीफाई करना है. अगर वो एजम्पशन से आपने वेरीफाई नहीं किया और फिर भी आप टी टेस्ट अप्लाई करेंगे तो क्या होगा? उसकी वैलिडिटी एंड रिलायबिलिटी के ऊपर क्वेश्चन मार्क है, क्योंकि आपने फाउंडेशन को देखा ही नहीं. इफ यू हैव वेरीफाई their foundations are appropriate or not, then you can use it, then the test is said to be most powerful and it is reliable for the decision making. So that is how one has to require to study this. Okay, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Now what is our aim? हाँ, yes.
Sir, I am Shagnik Mukherjee from Department of Chemistry.
Yes.
हाँ, तो मेरा एक सवाल था कि हम लोग जो भी एक्सपेरिमेंट वगैरह जो भी रिसर्च वर्क में करते हैं वो ग्राफ प्लॉट से लेके सब कुछ मशीन करके देते हैं, तो हम लोग इस थ्योरी को यूटिलाइज कैसे करें? सब कुछ कोई भी एनएमआर डेटा या जीसी डेटा या टीजीए डेटा सब कुछ ग्राफ प्लॉटिंग से लेके सब कुछ मशीन करके देते हैं, तो हम लोग इसको यूटिलाइज कैसे करें अपने रिसर्च वर्क में?
वो तो आपके पास अगर डेटा जनरेट होता है, ठीक है,
हाँ,
मशीन तो आपको ग्राफ करके देता ही है. मशीन इज
हाँ.
बिकॉज नाउअडेज द ऑटोमाइज्ड सॉफ्टवेयर आर देयर, तो वो मशीन के साथ आपका जुड़ा हुआ रहता है. यू जस्ट पुट ऑन एक्सपेरिमेंट, इट विल डू ऑल कैलकुलेशन एंड इट विल गिव द रिजल्ट्स एंड ग्राफ्स.
हाँ।
लेकिन वो रिजल्ट्स एंड ग्राफ कैसे आए,
ओके।
उसके बैकएंड की प्रोसीजर ये है। लेकिन उसमें आपके पास डेटा, अगर रो डेटा आपके पास तो आएगा ना, भले मशीन आपको आउटपुट दे रहा है, बट कौन सा फिगर से ऑब्जर्वेशन कौन सा आया आपका, वो तो मिलेगा ना कि आपने अंडर दिस कंडीशन यू गेट दिस ऑब्जर्वेशन, अंडर दिस कंडीशन यू विल
हाँ,
गेट
हाँ,
दिस ऑब्जर्वेशन। तो वो ऑब्जर्वेशन आपके पास आया तो उसके बाद आप कर सकते हैं ना। जैसे पोटेंसी हमने क्या किया, वी हैव मेजर्ड। तो मशीन में इंडस्ट्री के पास ये सारा रहता है, उनको ग्राफ भी मिलता है, बिकॉज दैट इज द ऑटोमाइजेशन। नोबडी हैज
हाँ।
टाइम टू डू दिस मैन्युअली।
yes,
लेकिन मशीन ही सब काम करेंगे तो फिर हमारा रोल खत्म हो जाएगा। तो इसलिए बैकएंड में मशीन क्या कर रहा है, सपोज कोई मशीन में बग आ गया तो
हाँ।
कैन यू सॉल्व इट, तो वो कब सॉल्व कर पाएंगे, जब हम बैकएंड की प्रोसीजर जानते हैं। और कभी मशीन ने आपको आउटपुट दिया तो आप डेटा देख के भी, कई बार होता है कि नहीं आउटपुट ऐसा नहीं आएगा, कुछ गड़बड़ लग रहा है, तो देन यू विल वेरीफाई मैन्युअली कि भाई हाँ इसको हम देखते हैं तो आउटपुट ऐसा आना चाहिए, तो ऐसा क्यों आ रहा है। सो these are all backend procedure. So when you have the raw data is with you, then you can do it. If you do not have the raw data in your hand, then you can't do it. Then you have to just rely on the machine, and whatever machine is suggest, we have to accept.
okay.
Okay. Now I am talking about, because we have one population, and I was talking about the mu equal to mu zero. So then we will perform the t-test, and it is called the one sample t-test. So command name is a t.test. So in t.test, what is your variable? Variable is a potency. Here you have to give the mu equal to 5.01 mg. Okay. So let us see what happened. It has given the output. See, उसने सारा कैलकुलेट करके दिया, p वैल्यू भी आ गया। इट इज ए 0.006 जो हमने वर्ड फाइल में आपको दिखाया था। The t-test value is this. So p value is less than 0.05. That means the null hypothesis is rejected. And null hypothesis is rejected. It means that the average potency is not the 5.01 mg. Now look at this x bar, because the form of the t-test is a x bar minus mu 0 upon sigma upon root n. So this is the form. I will show you if I have this. So here x bar is greater than mu 0, because standard deviation is always positive, square root is always positive, so denominator is always positive. So it means that the average potency of the drug is more than the assumed. And now the person who is working in the pharmacy and the medical science, they will suggest whether the potency level is increased, whether it is a good or not. So yesterday we have a researcher from the medical science and the pharma, they suggested if the average potency is the higher, it is the better. So it means that the modification process is the suitable. So this is what you can take the decision, कि whether should I go with the same modification process or whether go with the new. Suppose some pharmacist is working with some medicine and they are coming with the producing of the medicine in the new way. So now they wish to verify whether my new way is the better than this or not. And if that new method will minimize the cost of the production and maximize the productivity, then we always prefer the new method. Okay. So in that way, such kind of the analysis, it is required to help you to take the decision. So this is the formula of a one sample t-test. The null hypothesis mu equal to mu 0 versus mu not equal to 0. Here the y is a random variable, so y bar minus mu 0. In our case, it is a 5.06. This is mu 0 is 5.01. So that means if y bar is greater than this, the t is positive. So whenever the t is positive, what we say that? We say that the the average value, sample average is larger than the assumed mean. That means average potency in this modification process is the higher. Is that clear? Now we will jump into the
Yes.
another test, that is independent two samples t-test, or you can sometimes it is said to be a two sample t-test or independent sample t-test. Okay, so that's not the issue. So let us understand their example. So ये जो मैंने आपको किया है, I will share this file. So it is very easy to interpretation for you. I will share this file to Hardik bhai. He will share to you. Okay. Now we talk about the two sample t-test. So in two sample t-test, what we do? Suppose our objective is to compare two populations. For example, if you are, let us understand the simple example, the IQ level of the students who is in the science discipline and in the non-science discipline. Okay, so what about their IQ level? What will you say? Who has the more IQ? Whether the person having the science background, they have more IQ, or whether the person having the non-science background, they have more IQ? Any suggestions from your side? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
But I have asked the questions, but there is no response. See, we should learn like in a classroom. Forget about the instruction mode, whether it is online or offline. See, I am teaching. I try to teach you in the same manner which I am discussing in the classroom. Okay, so I am asking the questions, and if there is a some doubts, questions, queries, wrong answer is also very important. At least we can judge that whether the things is really reached to you or not. So I have asked the question: if I am talking about to measure, if the one of the education person came to you and asked you that I wish to study the average IQ level of the students who take the science stream and who take the non-science stream. So which students or which group of the people having the higher IQ?
Need to do surveys. How can we say directly?
No, वैसे ऐसे ही आपका एक्सपीरियंस क्या कहता है?
Normally, science students
insufficient
have
data
more
to
IQ.
insufficient data available.
So most of the time it is saying that the normal setup, the science के स्टूडेंट होते हैं वो इंटेलिजेंट होते हैं कंपेयर टू नॉन साइंस, ऐसा कहा जाता है क्योंकि जो इंटेलिजेंट बच्चा है वही साइंस लेता है. नाउ द ट्रेंड इज डिफरेंट, दैट इज द डिफरेंट थिंग कि अभी कोई भी फील्ड में जा रहा है एंड उसका इंटरेस्ट के ऊपर है. बट पहले के केस में ऐसा होता था कि भाई इसका 10th का मार्क्स अच्छा है, मतलब ये बच्चा इंटेलिजेंट है, उसको साइंस में डालो. ये इसका थोड़ा मार्क्स कम है, इसको कॉमर्स में, इसको फिर आर्ट्स में. तो यूजुअली इट वाज द बिलीफ कि जो साइंस का बच्चा है वो नॉर्मल इंटेलिजेंट ज्यादा होता है, लेकिन कवि आर्ट्स में है उसकी शायद अपने से ज्यादा भी हाई लेवल का विजन होता है क्योंकि वो काफी लंबा सोच सकता है. तो इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू कन्वे, बट कन्वेंशनली इट इज सेइंग दैट द साइंस स्टूडेंट हैविंग ए मोर IQ देन द नॉन साइंस स्टूडेंट. तो व्हाट वी डू, let us we have a group of the students, one group is from the science and one group from the non science. अभी साइंस और नॉन साइंस का कोई कनेक्शन है कोई कनेक्शन?
No, sir.
No, both are independent.
हाँ, वो बात अलग है कि आप रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट लाएंगे तो आपको कॉमर्स का भी काम करना पड़ेगा, यू हैव टू राइट अकाउंट्स एंड एवरीथिंग, ठीक है, बट फिलहाल देयर इज नो कनेक्शन, सो बोथ आर इंडिपेंडेंट इन दैट वे. सो साइंस एंड नॉन साइंस बोथ आर इंडिपेंडेंट, तो ये दो ग्रुप है एंड बोथ आर इंडिपेंडेंट. एंड my basic idea is that my claim is that the average IQ of the students who belong to science and who belong to non-science is same. This is my claim. मैं ऐसा कहता हूँ कि भाई मैं तो उसमें नहीं मानता हूँ, जैसे मैं जेंडर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन में नहीं मानता हूँ. आई बिलीव दैट बोथ आर इक्वल. तो सिमिलरली आई बिलीव दैट द साइंस एंड नॉन साइंस आर सेम. ठीक है. सो इसका अर्थ क्या हुआ कि इट इज माई claim. I wish to say that the average IQ level of the students who belong to science, if I am saying it is a mu1, it is a population parameter, and average IQ level of the students who belong to non-science, it is a mu2, then my null hypothesis is that mu1 equal to mu2. Now both the population are independent, so I have to assess that average IQ or the mu1 equal to mu2. If I wish to perform this test, I have to perform the parametric test independent two sample t test. Now how will you perform this test? डेटा कहां से लाएंगे?
सर IQ टेस्ट परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं.
टेस्ट लेना पड़ेगा.
IQ टेस्ट लेना पड़ेगा. और IQ टेस्ट कैसे लेंगे? तो वी हैव ए सम क्वेश्चन, सॉरी टेस्ट पेपर इज गिवन टू देम. क्वेश्चनर तो नहीं बोल सकते, टेस्ट पेपर उनको दे सकते हैं जिसमें एरिथमेटिक, लॉजिक, रीजनिंग, फिर कुछ ग्राफ्स या कुछ चित्र वगैरह कुछ दिया हुआ रहता है. ठीक है. उसके बेस पे यू आर ट्राइंग टू जज. और वो कौन है? तो एजुकेशन साइंटिस्ट है, दे नो दैट हाउ टू जज द IQ लेवल. तो उन्होंने कुछ स्पेसिफिक टूल डिजाइन किए है. वो टूल्स हम क्या करते हैं, बच्चों को देते हैं, साइंस वाले हैं और नॉन साइंस वाले, और दोनों का हम 100 मार्क का एग्जाम लिया. 100 में से आप उनका स्कोर निकाला. वो स्कोर निकालने के बाद क्या करेंगे? तो टी टेस्ट की फॉर्मूला में क्या आता है? मीन भी आता है और वेरिएंस भी आता है. तो वेरिएंस ऑफ द साइंस ग्रुप, वेरिएंस ऑफ द कॉमर्स नॉन साइंस ग्रुप, मीन ऑफ द साइंस ग्रुप, मीन ऑफ द नॉन साइंस ग्रुप. तो दोनों का हम मीन एंड वेरिएंस निकालेंगे. दोनों में से कितने कितने स्टूडेंट लिए हैं, कि भाई दोनों में से सेम नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट लिए हैं या अलग अलग लिए हैं. तो पहले ग्रुप के स्टूडेंट्स को मैं N1 कहता हूँ, N1 लेटेस्ट से 10 है. दूसरे ग्रुप के स्टूडेंट्स को मैं N2 कहता हूँ, लेटेस्ट से वो 10 है. कई केस में ऐसा होता है कि एक पेशेंट का ग्रुप है, उसमें आपके पास 5 ही पेशेंट है, दूसरे में आपके पास 3 है या 7 है. तो दैट सैंपल साइज में वेरी, इक्वल सैंपल साइज भी हो सकती है, अलग अलग भी हो सकती है. फिर दोनों केस में आप क्या कर सकते हैं? इंडिपेंडेंट सैंपल टी टेस्ट कर सकते हैं. अब यहाँ पे जब आप इंडिपेंडेंट सैंपल टी टेस्ट की बात कर रहे हैं तो ऐसा कहा जाता है कि जब भी दो चीज को कंपेयर करना है, वेन एवर यू विश टू कंपेयर टू थिंग्स, ओके, तो आप पहले क्या कहेंगे कि भाई दोनों के अंदर का वेरिएशन क्या होना चाहिए? सेम होना चाहिए. जैसे दो प्रोडक्ट की कंपैरिजन करनी है तो हम कहते हैं कि एक्यूरेसी लेवल और द प्रिसीजन ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट 1 एंड प्रोडक्ट 2 इज सेम. नाउ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द टारगेट, वेदर दे आर वर्किंग एट द टारगेट लेवल और नॉट. So it means that the variance of the group 1 and group 2 should be same. That means the variance should be homogeneous. ठीक है. And if it is the homogeneous, then we will talk about the comparison. अभी एक बंदा intelligent है, और let us आपको मैं एक example दूं. If I wish to take the decision between the two players, it is a cricket tournament is going on. Player A has made in the first inning 0 run, and in the second inning it is the 100 run. What is the average? 50. So it is a 50. Player B has scored the 50 run in the first inning and 50 run in the second inning. What is the average?
50.
50.
Same 50.
तो ये आपको डिसीजन मेकर बनाया है, ये दो प्लेयर में से किसको आप सिलेक्ट करेंगे?
Second one.
Second one.
Second one.
BB.
क्यों?
player is consistent making run.
कंसिस्टेंसी, तो
Consistency is
परफॉर्मिंग, तो इसका मतलब है कि जिसका वेरिएशन कम होता है वो कंसिस्टेंट ज्यादा होता है। इसका वेरिएशन आप देखेंगे तो स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन पहले प्लेयर में कितना है? 50 है। 50 माइनस 50 0, 50 प्लस 50 100, जबकि दूसरे में कितना है? 0। 50 माइनस 0 50 प्लस, तो आंसर आपको म्यू प्लस और माइनस सिग्मा क्या मिलता है? दोनों में, एक में सिग्मा 50 है, दूसरे में कितना है? 0 है। मतलब the first having the highest variation, however the second has the zero variation, so that means the second प्लेयर को लिया तो दूसरे मैच में 50 तो बनाएगा ही, जबकि पहले प्लेयर को लिया तो वो 0 में भी आउट हो सकता है, सेंचुरी भी लगाएगा। ओके, सो वी ऑलवेज लुक फॉर द कंसिस्टेंसी। तो जब भी दो लोगों की कंपैरिजन की बात होती है तो पहले हम देखते हैं कि उसका वेरिएशन कितना है, वेदर द कंसिस्टेंसी इज मोर और लेस। जिसकी कंसिस्टेंसी ज्यादा है इसका मतलब है कि उसका वेरिएशन कम है, एंड देन वी टॉक अबाउट दैट एवरेज, कि भाई ऑन एवरेज कितने रन बना रहा है हर मैच में। तो दोनों की कंसिस्टेंसी सेम है, एक 50 बना रहा है, एक 40 बना रहा है ऑन एवरेज, तो किसको लेंगे? जिसने 50 रन बनाए हैं, क्योंकि आपको मैच जीत के आना है। ठीक है, तो अल्टीमेटली वी ऑलवेज ट्राई टू सी दैट वेदर द वेरिएंस इज कांस्टेंट और नॉट अक्रॉस द ग्रुप। इफ द वेरिएंस इज फिक्स और they are the same, then we talk about the comparison of a mean. So similar to independent sample t test, we have 3 assumptions. Data should be independently distributed, we will apply the run test. Data should be normally distributed, we will apply the Shapiro normality test, and variance for the both groups are equal or not, we will use the Snedeker F test. But in R it is a Bartlett test is given, so based on the Bartlett test we can take the decision whether the variance is same or not. If any one of the assumption is violated, again remember the foundation. ठीक है, अगर any of the assumption is violated, then we will not perform the parametric test. Either we have to make a transformation in the data and try to see whether this assumption are hold true, then we will apply the independent sample t test. Otherwise we have to perform the non-parametric test. So यहाँ पे मेरे पास एक डेटा है, हमारे एक काफ़ी पुराने स्टूडेंट्स उनका एक प्रोजेक्ट का लेके आए थे और उनकी परमिशन से हम डेटा यूज़ कर रहे हैं। तो दैट डेटा इज ऑफ ए एंटीनेंटल चेकअप। अब एंटीनेंटल चेकअप किसका होता है? ए लेडी हु बेयर द प्रेगनेंसी, एंड एज पर द WHO गाइडलाइन, इफ एम आई नॉट रॉन्ग, द एटलीस्ट 3 times the pregnant lady has to visit the प्राइमरी हेल्थ सेंटर फॉर द एंटीनेंटल चेकअप, जिसमें चेक किया जाता है कि बच्चे का ग्रोथ कैसा है, मदर का ग्रोथ कैसा है, और डॉक्टर उसके हिसाब से उनको मेडिसिन या खाने का, द गवर्नमेंट इज कमिंग विद द सुखड़ी स्कीम, आयरन पिल्स उसको दिया जाता है, वगैरह वगैरह बहुत सारी स्कीम रहती है कि जिसके हिसाब से माल न्यूट्रिशन का इश्यू ना हो और एनीमिया का इश्यू ना हो और बच्चे और मदर की दोनों का स्वास्थ्य अच्छा रहे। So this is the antenatal checkup study data, and the aim in this data is that I wish to study the hemoglobin level of the women who belongs to the rural area and who belong to the urban area. My assumption that the hemoglobin level of the women who belongs to the rural area and urban area is same. This is my claim. So what I need to go, मैं रूरल एरिया में जो सब सेंटर है या प्राइमरी हेल्थ सेंटर है या उसके ऊपर कौन सा होता है CHC, तो वहां से जाके आई विल कलेक्ट द डेटा ऑफ द वुमेन हु बेयर द प्रेगनेंसी और उसका हीमोग्लोबिन लेवल कितना है वो हमने मेजर किया। सिमिलरली अर्बन एरिया में भी गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल से या प्राइवेट हॉस्पिटल से आई मे कलेक्ट द डेटा फ्रॉम दैट। किसका डेटा कलेक्ट किया? आई हैव कलेक्टेड डेटा ऑफ ए हीमोग्लोबिन लेवल। तो हीमोग्लोबिन लेवल यूजुअली यू आर मेजरिंग इन परसेंटेज। परसेंटेज में मेजर करते हैं, किस में मेजर करते हैं? डॉक्टर से अपने में है, मिलीग्राम में। ओके, तो मेरी गलती है। ओके, तो हीमोग्लोबिन लेवल यहाँ पे मिलीग्राम में मेजर हुआ है और वो हीमोग्लोबिन लेवल जो है वो कहाँ मिलेगा? तो टेस्ट का जो रिकॉर्ड है वहां से मिलेगा. तो यू हैव टेकन द डेटा फ्रॉम ए वुमेन हु इज फ्रॉम रूरल एरिया एंड अर्बन. तो आपके पास दो रीजियन है. इज देयर एनी कनेक्शन बिटवीन रूरल एंड अर्बन? नो. So that means they are
No.
independent. What is my aim? My aim is that I wish to compare the average hemoglobin level across the region. That means मुझे मीन की कंपैरिजन करनी है. तो which test is applicable? Independent two sample t test. So what are the basic assumptions? It should be random. Random means within the group data should be random. Within the group there is a normality, and between the variance is homogeneous. So that data is available in the ANC. So I will directly jump into the R. We will discuss over there. Now I will give them as a, oh, I have no store, save it. I'll just save it.
Sir, sorry, milligram is measured in gram per deciliter.
Okay. So आपने गूगल कर लिया?
नहीं सर, मेरे पास बुक है वो मैं होम साइंस डिपार्टमेंट से बिलोंग करती हूँ, तो हमारे फूड से न्यूट्रिशन में आता है, तो मैंने बुक
Okay.
में चेक किया वापस आपको बोलने के बाद.
ओके, थैंक यू, थैंक यू. तो यही हमारा भी एडवांटेज है. इट इज नॉट द टीचिंग, इट इज ऑल्सो साइमल्टेनियसली टीचिंग एंड लर्निंग. So when we discuss with the researcher, we always learn from that. So it is not the one-way communication; it is always the two-way. And thank you. Let us go back to our. I will give the name as a data one. What is the data? So that is the available in the SPSS. File name was the ANC. So I will select the file dot choose. एक मैंने आपको CSV फॉर्मेट का दिखाया, एक आपको यहाँ SPSS का दिखाऊंगा, आगे आपको नोटपैड में डेटा है तो वो भी आपको बताऊंगा. So don't worry, we'll see all possible format. Which file? ANC study. I will share this all file to you. And then data one equal to data dot frame and data one. So now we will see that how many variables are there in the data. So the command name is dimension data one. So it is showing that 105 cases and 19 variables. Now which variable is of our important? Because how we are interested in the two variables, names of data one. This is the use of a small command. When you have a big data, you could not see all the variables. Okay, so you can have this. So my interest variable is the fourth variable, which is the region, and where is the hemoglobin? So that is measured as a HB. It is written in the HB. Okay. So now, what is my aim? My aim is that I wish to find out the HB. HB equal to data one $H $HB and region equal to, I do not want to write very big lamb region. So now you can see this HB and this is called region. See, this is the HB of a women's. This is the rural and urban. But how will you classify? These are which are from the rural and which are from the urban. Can you classify? By looking at the data, we could not classify. So how to do that? So let us write me that X is equal to split command. Split will help you. HB is split by the region. So it is giving the data of a individual data. No? What is mistake? Comma. Okay. So now you can have the separate record. These are the record for a hemoglobin level of the women who live in the rural area, and these are the records for the hemoglobin level into the urban area. So what I mean to tell you that what exactly you wish to know, that you should be clear, and then you give the instruction to R will do for you. Now what is my objective? My objective is that I wish to perform the runs test. See here, if I will just make the box plot of histogram, that is box plot of HB, it is giving me the only one graph. Sorry, it is giving me the only one graph. Okay. However, I have the data of rural as well as urban, but I need this should be a two different graph. So for that, I require to just make a box plot because my split data is available into the variable X. So if I am giving the box plot of X, so then it is giving me the two different output, two graph. दिख रहा है आपको? This is for the rural and this is for the urban. Okay, and by looking at the graph, can you take any decision? Is it visible to you, all of you?
Yes, sir. It's
Yes,
visible.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
Yes.
what is your decision based on this graph? Can anyone? Because sometimes you can take the decision from the graph. You require to perform the testing of hypothesis to just assure your decision that you are statistically, you have evidence that your result is correct. So what should be the decision? यस, आप बताइए, आप बड़े धीरे 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 सोच रहे हैं। ये रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है इसलिए सोच रहे हैं क्या? हेलो
Sir, mean is almost same for both.
अभी पहले तो बॉक्स प्लॉट में अगर आपको याद है तो द सेंटर लाइन वाज कंसीडर्ड टू बी ए मीडियन.
So median is almost
Median,
approximately normally distributed.
और आप देख रहे हैं कि यहाँ पे मीडियन मोर और लेस सेम है, लेकिन ये अर्बन में मीडियन की वैल्यू क्या है, थोड़ी ज्यादा है कंपेयर टू दिस. ये तो ग्राफ मैंने वो उस विंडो में बनाया है, इसलिए मैं अभी इसको ट्राई करता हूँ. ठीक है. तो दूसरा यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं कि वेरिएशन बॉक्स की साइज क्या है, more or less same. And I told you that the size of the box we is talking about the variation in the data. This is the Q3, this is the Q1. So Q3 minus Q1 is nothing but measure of dispersion. It is called the interquartile range. And these are nothing but the more or less same. तो यहाँ पे ये पता चल रहा है कि the variance across the region, variance of HB across the region is same. That means they are homogeneous. यहाँ पे मीडियन थोड़ा अर्बन का ज़्यादा लग रहा है कंपेयर टू रूरल, तो आप कह सकते हैं कि अर्बन की वुमेन जो भी है उनका हीमोग्लोबिन लेवल ज़्यादा है। लेकिन कितना हीमोग्लोबिन लेवल होना चाहिए पूरे न्यूट्रिशन में से, लेडी ने अभी बताया कितना होना चाहिए? 13। लेकिन लेडी हु बेयर द प्रेगनेंसी उसका कितना होना चाहिए, 13 या 14?
Yes, sir, it's a range like 13 to 15.
ओके 13 to 15, तो मिनिमम इज 13। बट आप देखो अर्बन एंड रूरल दोनों वुमेन्स की हालत क्या है, 12 से कम है, ऑलमोस्ट 11 के आसपास घूम रहे हैं। तो इसका मतलब है कि अर्बन और वुमेन एंड रूरल वुमेन्स बोथ आर सफरिंग फ्रॉम दी डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ आयरन। और डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ आयरन है इसलिए डॉक्टर्स क्या प्रिस्क्राइब करते हैं, आयरन की पिल्स। अब सपोज दिस डेटा इज कलेक्टेड फ्रॉम दी गवर्नमेंट हॉस्पिटल्स एंड नाउ, तो अभी क्या है कि गवर्नमेंट में सारा हॉस्पिटल्स में वो रिकॉर्ड आता है कि भाई जैसे ही फर्स्ट एंटीनेंटल चेकअप हुआ तो ऑनलाइन सिस्टम है कि भाई ये लेडी प्रेग्नेंट है, तो देयर इज एंटायर डिटेल इज विद द गवर्नमेंट। और बच्चे का और मदर्स का किस हिसाब से मूवमेंट हो रहा है। गांव में तो आशा वर्कर है, वो घर घर जाके सुखड़ी या अलग अलग जो पैकेट्स गवर्नमेंट बना के देती है वो उनके घर पे पहुंचाते हैं। तो वाई कि अगर मदर्स में अगर डेफिशिएंसी है आयरन की तो उसकी इम्पैक्ट सीधी कहाँ पे होगी, बच्चे के ऊपर। एंड देयर इज ए मोर चांस दैट द किड हैविंग द और द चाइल्ड और इन्फेंट हैविंग ए मोर चांस ऑफ एनीमिया। और एनीमिया है तो फिर वो माल न्यूट्रिशन में जाएगा। So then the Gujarat is a very prosperous state and still there is a malnutrition are there, then it becomes the headlines and other. So every government is try to see that how to minimize the infant mortality rate, और infant mortality rate reduce करना है तो भाई मदर एंड बच्चे दोनों की सेहत अच्छी होनी चाहिए। तो ये रिकॉर्ड से पता चलेगा कि लेटेस्ट से एक x number n number of amount of the n number of the lady are the having the pregnancy, and out of n numbers let us say that the n1 numbers are having the lower iron level, so that means x amount of the pills should be given to the n1 amount of the n1 number of the lady, so that n1 into x, that means इतनी pills आपको चाहिए, कितने, तो हर महीने। तो वेदर दैट क्वांटिटी इज अवेलेबल विद द गवर्नमेंट, इफ इट इज नॉट अवेलेबल तो पूरे गुजरात में से वो कितना है, पूरे नेशन में से कितना है, तो देन गवर्नमेंट हैज टू, हेल्थ डिपार्टमेंट हैज टू कम आउट विद द बजट। तो वो बजट बढ़ रहा है तो उसकी जगह पे कैन वी कम विद एनी स्कीम विच कैन रियली हेल्प टू द लेडी टू इम्प्रूव देयर आयरन डेफिशिएंसी। तो हाँ, कौन सा है, तो सुखड़ी आहार। आप उसको खाना खिलाओ, उसको न्यूट्रिशन नहीं मिल रहा है तो आयरन कहाँ से मिलेगा। तो जैसे ही वो प्रेगनेंसी बेयर हुआ, आइडेंटिफाई हुआ, इमीडिएटली आशा वर्कर्स एंड द आंगनवाड़ी महिला केम इनटू द पिक्चर। वो घर घर जाके उनका वजन करेंगे, उसको खाना खिलाएंगे, उसके साथ न्यूट्रिशनल फूड उनको देंगे, टेबलेट्स देंगे, so that this issue should be minimized. So a small study will help the government to take the decision. Okay, तो हम तो ये ग्राफ से इतनी सारी बात की, कभी कभी लगता है कि ये करके क्या फायदा, बट व्हेन यू लुक बैक टू द ओरिजिनल डोमेन, it is always really helping you to take the decision. Okay, now we will perform the runs test. लेकिन रन टेस्ट हमें किस में परफॉर्म करना है, इंडिविजुअली। तो $, rural, look at the p value, it is a 0.07 which is greater than 0.05. It means the data is coming from a normal distribution, independent of orders. So data is random for the rural. Now what about the urban? मैंने x क्यों लिया, क्योंकि उसमें स्प्लिट डेटा है एंड आई हैव टू सी इंडिविजुअली. So individually for a urban it is also random because it is a 0.3 which is greater than 0.05. Now I have to perform the Shapiro test. What happened? क्यों गलत हुआ स्पेलिंग? देखो गलत हुआ ना तो तुरंत आया ना, स्पेलिंग गलत है. शापिरो, तो गलती होती है, अच्छी बात है. तो यहाँ पे इट इज सजेस्टिंग द डेटा फ्रॉम द रूरल इज नॉट नॉर्मल. ओके, देन what about the urban? So the data, the hemoglobin level of the women who belong to urban area, it is normally distributed, but that is not the true in the rural case. So that means we have violated the assumption of t-test. Let us again verify the another assumption. Bartlett test of normality. So that means HB is a function of region. This is the test of equality of variance. क्या हो गया? हो रहा है, आउटपुट आया. So this is the Bartlett test. It is the test of the homogeneity of variance, and here it is saying that p-value is a 0.38, so which is greater than 0.05. That means the variance of the hemoglobin level of the rural women and the urban women are the same. Let us verify the same. वी देखते हैं मीन दोनों का निकालते हैं. तो ये रूरल एस अप्लाई इज ए कमांड कि अगर आपके पास बहुत सारे ग्रुप दिए हैं तो आप सारे का साथ में एक साथ निकाल सकते हैं. तो एक्स में मेरे पास रूरल एंड अर्बन दोनों है एंड आई हैव गिवन द फॉर्मूला मीन फंक्शन एज ए मीन. तो एस अप्लाई, आई विश टू कैलकुलेट द मीन ऑफ द रूरल वुमेन एंड द मीन ऑफ द women who belong to the urban area hemoglobin level. So this is the 9.5 and this is the 10.27. So mean is urban higher compared to rural. Similarly, I wish to find out the how many women in the rural and how many in the urban. So command is a length. So it is saying that the 46 women is taken from the rural area and 59 is from the urban area. Then SD, that means standard deviation. So this is giving the, ये मैंने इंडिविजुअल क्यों किया, क्योंकि मेरे पास दो ग्रुप है. आई नीड ए इंडिविजुअल रिजल्ट, इंडिविजुअल मीन, इंडिविजुअल स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन, इंडिविजुअल नंबर ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन एटसेट्रा. So you can say that the standard deviation here it is a 1.89 and 1.41. So it is not same, but when you perform the test of Bartlett test of equality of homogeneity of variance, it is suggesting that it is the same variance across the hemoglobin across the region is the same. So because our one assumption is violated, we will not perform independent sample t-test. We have to go for the alternative test. But what I do, I will just continue with the t-test. Command name is the same. What is the data? So data is a HB of rural. I have to supply both different data. So R is the first, that means rural and data of the urban. तो यहाँ पे आपको टेस्ट स्टैटिस्टिक्स और हाइपोथेटिकल वैल्यू देने की जरूरत नहीं. वहाँ पे हमने 5.01 लिखा था, यहाँ पे जरूरत नहीं है. यहाँ पे अपने आप क्या करता है, इंडिपेंडेंट सैंपल टी टेस्ट ही देता है. दिस इज फॉर द फर्स्ट ग्रुप एंड दिस इज फॉर द अनदर ग्रुप. So it is giving the output. It is a 2 sample t-test and the data you can see that the p-value is a 0.02. 0.02. What is your decision?
Rejected.
Hypothesis
Hypothesis.
is rejected. It means that the average hemoglobin level of the woman who lives into the rural and urban areas are significantly differ. Okay, now which has the higher hemoglobin level? So then your next conclusion is that the T value corresponding to the T test is minus 2.31, which is less than 0. It suggests that the average hemoglobin level of the rural is less than the average hemoglobin level of the urban. The average hemoglobin level of the woman who lives into the rural area is a 9.5, whereas the average hemoglobin level of the woman who lives into the urban area is a 10.27. So statistically, it is significant. It is saying that the rural women require more iron level compared to the urban. But however, if you look at the WHO guideline, both require the support of the ions. Okay, so that means that in rural area, you require more compared to the urban area. So this is the end of the story of a independent two sample t-test. Any questions in that? Anyone? आप तो बड़े होशियार हैं सभी, किसी को कोई क्वेश्चन ही नहीं, अच्छी बात है. So now we will look for the pair t-test. When we apply the pair t-test, anyone has idea? अभी सुबह ही आपको बताया ना मैंने.
बिफोर आफ्टर कंडीशन.
बिफोर आफ्टर मतलब कि आपके पास whenever the situation is like that कि a pair of observation is taken from the same individual. For example, it is a study of a before and after. Before the enter into the dietitian program, what was the weight, and after the completion of the program, what was the weight? Whether the program is effective or not. अब उसमें effective दो तरह से होता है कि weight reduction करना है या weight gain करना है. Okay, so when you have a pair of observations is taken from the same individual, similarly twins, they are the children of the same mother. So if you wish to compare, then again you have to go for the pair t-test. If the product is two different product is produced from the same machine, so again you can compare by the pair t-test. So whenever you have the such situation, the pair of observation is arising, then you have to perform the pair t-test. ये जो मैंने लिखा है वो सारा आपको डिस्कशन किया वो यहाँ लिखा हुआ है. I will share this document. So in practice, many times observation are found in a pairs. For example, different types of item produced on a same machine, or study the effect of treatment pairs observation taken on the respondent before giving the treatment and after giving the treatment, or observation taken from the twins. In such cases, this pair of observations are intra-correlated with each other. That means whatever the observation you have taken from the respondent, because they are the observation of the same individual, so of course they are correlated. So when you apply the pair t-test, this assumption must be hold true. There should be a significant correlation between the pair of observation. Now our basic idea is that we wish to test the effect of the drug on a patient. The null hypothesis is that mu1 equal to mu2, where mu1 is the average of the observation before giving the treatment and mu2 is the average of the observation after giving the treatment. So before treatment, you measure the temperature level, and after giving the paracetamol, again you measure the temperature level, whether the drug is effective or not, whether the training program is effective or not, whether this online mode of teaching is effective or not. Before entering into my class, the level of statistics knowledge, and after completion of this class, level of statistics of knowledge. Again, it is showing that whether the training is effective or not. To test this null hypothesis, we use the Patty test. Again, it has the assumption there is a high correlation between the pair of observations. Of course, the pre-observations are independent as well as the post-observation are also independent, because you are taking from a different people, but you are taking the pair of observations. So the different group of the peoples are the different. So the observation are independent, pre as well as post, and difference between the pre-post is normally distributed, because ultimately you are looking for the whatever the difference is there, whether the distribution is normal or not. For that, we will apply the example of the bioequivalence study. There are same drug produced on a two different formulation methods. Okay, so to assess, now in a bioequivalence study, we have a same drug, but they are produced on a different formulation method. So whether they are same or not. For that, we will apply the Patty test. Or you can have the data of, for example, in nutrition field, you have the like that if you organize the certain training program or the dietitian program, before giving that enter into the program, you measure that particular blood pressure, hemoglobin level, you measure there the hypertension level, and many things you have measured. And after the completion of your dietitian program, again you have measured whether your dietitian program or whether your program is effective or not. Or suppose you have made this certain kind of a biscuit by making the different ingredient. Now whether this biscuit is really reducing your cholesterol level or not. Okay, so before giving that particular biscuit, or you are measuring their cholesterol level, and after giving that, you can. So that is how the low fat product came into the market. It is also reducing your fat level, so it can help you to save from the cardiovascular disease. So ultimately, you have to see the objective, and according to objective, you have to decide your test statistics. Okay, so the data is there, data 3. Now it is available in the CSV format. Let me check where the data is there. So here the data file is given and the data file is bioequivalent. So it is in the CSV format. I will just write the CSV file dot choose to browse the file, and file name, it is equivalence. So let us see. It is a bioequivalence. Just click on that. Now it is a we do not require to data frame structure, because CSV already it will take into data frame structure. So we have a formulation A and formulation B. How many? There are 6 observations. I will just store as a FA is equal to data 3, that is formulation method A, and FB is the formulation method B. Now I have FA, FB, okay. So these are the observations. I will just separate out it. Now what is my objective? I wish to see that whether the correlation between them or not. So you can use the simply correlation function, but if you simultaneously use the correlation test, then it is automatically giving the correlation value. So I will use the correlation dot test. There are 2 variables, formulation 1 and formulation B. If it is the before and after, then you have to write the before first, after later. So it is giving the output. So it is suggesting that, what it's suggesting, the correlation between the formulation A and formulation B is a 0.93, and the corresponding value is suggesting 0.06, which is less than 0.05. That means the null hypothesis is rejected. And here the null hypothesis in the test of correlation is that the formulation A and B are independent, or you can say that there is no correlation between the formulation A and B, or you can say that there is no linear association between the formulation A and B. ऐसे अलग अलग आपने कहीं किताब पढ़ी है तो अलग अलग वर्ड यूज किए हैं, but ultimately the correlation coefficient is 0. So when you say that the null hypothesis rejected, it means it is free from 0. It means they are correlated, and here the correlation range is always lies between -1 to 1. So -1 means as you increase the x, the value of y is decreasing. If you take the 1 correlation, it means that x is increasing, y is increasing linearly, perfect linearly. And when you say rho equal to 0, it means that, or the correlation is 0, it means that they are not linearly correlated. Okay, they may have a non-linear correlation. And when it is near to 1, we say that there is a highly positive correlation between the formulation A and formulation B. And that is our one of the assumption, that there should be a high correlation. Now I will not assess that both the tests because the time running. I will just take the T dot test directly. The same command. The same command will help you to take so FA, FB. But if I will just use this FA, FB and then run it, it will give the independent. But here we have a pair t-test. So we will apply the pair equal to true. So it has given the output. You can see that it has written earlier it has written the Welch independent sample t-test. Now it has written the pair t-test. Same command. For one sample t-test, independent sample t-test, pair t-test, command name is a t-dot test. Just you have to supply the argument. And here look at what is that? The p-value is a 0.01, which is less than 0.05. Hence we
reject the null hypothesis.
Reject the null hypothesis. It means that the formulation A and formulation B, the average value of the drug during the formulation A and formulation B are statistically different. और किस में ज्यादा है? तो इट इज यहाँ पे हमने पहले किसको रखा था? FA को. तो यूजुअली माइनस क्या होता है? FA minus FB, the mean of FA minus mean of FB, and this is the negative. It means that formulation A has the lower value, average value compared to formulation B. तो formulation B की वैल्यू ज्यादा है और वो आपको समरी से भी पता चलेगा. तो समरी निकाल लेते हैं उसका. Summary of FA and summary of FB. तो यहाँ पे आपको दोनों का पता चलेगा. What is the mean in the formulation? It is a 1.55, 155.3, and here it is a 173.8. So as we take the decision from the t-test value, it was negative. So we said that formulation B has the higher value compared to the formulation A. Okay, and you can see that there are some outliers are also present, 94 and 200, and that is how when you make the box plot, it was showing the outlier. यहाँ पे दिख रहा है there are 2 points, यहाँ पे 2 points are outlier. तो वो outlier है क्यों? तो यहाँ पे आपको दिख रहा है observation में. Why you can say that outlier is there or not? Because when there is a more difference between minimum and maximum, it is indication that there may be a presence of outlier. Okay. So this is up to this, and I'll just throw a coin of non-parametric, and that we will cover next time. No issue. So in a non-parametric test, you can have we will see the binomial test of proportion, and Wilcoxon signed rank test for the paired sample, and then Wilcoxon signed rank test for the two samples. So this is for the independent alternative to the independent two sample t-test. This is the independent to the pair t-test, and this is nothing but independent to the alternative to the one sample t-test. And test for proportion is different. So that we will discuss in the next lecture. about the binomial test, test of proportion, Wilcoxon signed rank test, Wilcoxon signed rank test for the pair sample, and for a 2 samples. Okay, so it's very simple. If you write 4 line, you will get the output. But the thing is that when to use what. And chi-square test of independence we have seen when we have discussed about the data of the survey. Is there any association between the smoking habit and the gender or not? So that is what the same example is given here. Okay. And then we will have a Kruskal-Wallis. So we are just behind, but anyhow, we will cover up. Any question so far? ये मटेरियल मैं हार्दिक भाई को भेज देता हूँ. He will share this material to you. ठीक है, इसमें मैंने वो इंडिपेंडेंट नॉर्मलिटी वो भी सब लिखा है, so it may be helpful to you. Yes. Anyone? Any? No question? Any questions? Anyone? No.
No.
All intelligent.
No, sir.
No, sir.
I have mentioned in the chat book. All are intelligent. So thank you. And see, if there is a online classes, so there is a examination also. So I think after completion of this, you may have examination, and the examination may be of, I don't know what format, but it may be of MCQ, it may be of a short question. That pattern is yet not decided, or I don't know. So it is not simply like that the online classes is going on and you are working something else. Then perhaps that connectivity is lost. And if you understand everything by just listening the YouTube, you do not require to go for the classes. So make sure that you should attend attentively, and simultaneously we will also, I try to upload it, but HRDC is also going to share the recorded lecture. We will also share the materials. You have to keep reading. Okay. So that is all I would like to convey. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.